Okay, ladies and gents, a very official intro. Everyone's like, wow, T90, you're amazing. This is another roundup video for things that have happened in TTL, things that are happening. We're having games all the time, but there's 5 rounds, and we are very close to the final week. Apologies, by the way, because there's so much content. We don't have some of the results I'm about to show you up yet on the YouTube channel, but we will soon. So spoiler alert for some of this, but let's pay attention because the final week is going to have massive consequences for some big names. Starting with Group A, Viper and Doubt are already finished. Okay? So Viper is at 11, which confirms that he is number 1 in the group. Doubt is at 8, which does not confirm that he's number 1, but it will, I believe, confirm, if my math checks out, that he is most likely going to be top 3. There might be a rare instance where he's not. But then the bottom 4 is where it gets exciting. So bottom 2, again, relegated out for the next season. 4th place stays alive for the next season. 3rd place moves on out of the group stage later. So what's exciting here is that 3 and 4 play each other on the last week, Jordan Miguel. Miguel beat Viper 2-1 today, which puts him in a good position here. He's got 3 sets won. If he wins 2-1 versus Jordan or 3-0 versus Jordan, he's obviously going to be looking very good and staying in prime position. Now, I can't show all the potential results because there's so many, but obviously the goal for Miguel is going to be to win, as will be for Jordan. Now, if Classic Pro, who is up against Say My Name, who's already going to be relegated, sadly, if he were to 3-0, this is where it gets real wacky here, okay? If he 3-0s, here he is, sorry, Say My Name, and Jordan gets 1 win or 0 wins against Miguel, Jordan is relegated. In the event of a tie, you go by, so we base it all off of games 1, and then the tiebreaker is sets 1, and you can see the sets 1 results here. And then after that, you go by tiebreaker, which is head-to-head. Miguel has already beaten Jordan in their head-to-head. Miguel has more sets won, at least for the time being. So again, you've got this weird spot where Jordan really needs to beat Miguel, I think, to feel safe, because there's a very good chance Classic Pro could win 3-0 or 2-1. We could also have this weird 4-way tie. Again, I explained kind of how the tiebreaker works, but you should be paying attention to those games if you're looking out for them. Jordan versus Miguel, and then Classic Pro versus Say My Name in Group A. The fact that Miguel beat Viper 2-1 and Viper was playing very well as well was just huge for that group today. All right, Group B, you have Velez and you have Yo, pretty much going to be number 1 and 2. It does depend. They are going to be playing their final round this week. No one played ahead of time. Yo versus Velez could be a situation there where Yo wins 3-0 and then potentially ends up getting number 2 in the group. Could be a situation where Velez 3-0's Yo or 2-1's Yo, and then Hera loses every game versus Barles. I'm going to just focus more so on the bottom players because you have Bra and Dragonstar who will play each other near the bottom. They are both tied in 5th position right now. And what Bra and Dragonstar are hoping for is that Hera will 3-0 Barles. Barles currently has 4 wins. And so since Dragonstar has beaten Barles, again, this is where it gets nuts. Since Dragonstar has beaten Barles, if Barles gets 3-0'd, and then Dragonstar wins 2-1 or 3-0 versus Bruh, he is going to take the 4th position and Barles will be relegated. So Barles needs to aim for 1 win. If he gets 2 wins, he's completely safe, but he needs to hope for 1 win, and then he needs to cheer for Bruh because he has actually beaten Bruh, which means that in the event of a tiebreak, that Barles would win out in the tiebreak. Group C, also quite interesting. So we do have 1 set from round 4 that hasn't finished yet in Capwatch and Song, and that would be huge for Capwatch to be able to get some points on the board there. But you have Vinchester and you have Leary. Obviously, have done very well. They're probably going to be number 1 and 2 position. They will actually play each other at the conclusion of the group. Does matter, but also doesn't matter hugely at the end of the day. They're moving out of the group stage anyways. Bact was able to get a win off of Vinch. And Bact was able to get a win off of Leary, combined with some decent results where he got 2 wins off of Slam and then 1 win off of Capwatch. But final round here, Capwatch versus Slam. As you can see based on the standings, Slam really needs to win games there against Capwatch. And then you have Backed versus Song Song. For Slam fans, you're hoping that Song Song can get a 3-0 up against Backed, and then that Slam can get good results against Capwatch to survive. To me, I think Backed is going to at the very least, beat Song Song 2-1 or 3-0. So Capwatch and Slam, both are just going to need to fight to see who moves on, basically. Feels like whoever wins that set will stay alive for the next season, and then whoever loses that set is going to be relegated. And then last but not least, now this is the set that does bring us lots of confusion because we had 2 players sick in this group, and then 1 player was traveling. 2 players, actually, and we're being as accommodating as possible. So that means we're going to have some situations where we will have players like Dogao, for example, and Tato playing more than 1 set in a week. But this is what everything looks like. MBL is at the top of the group. He has 1 round left to play. Nikov is in second place with 1 round left to play. Bad Boy is unfortunately out at this point. I do not think there is any way that he can save himself. He has not won a single game. He has 1 round left to play. But Dogao, he has 3 rounds left to play. One of those rounds is up against Tato. Another one of those rounds is up against ACCM. And I think the other one's actually Bad Boy. So without being disrespectful to Bad Boy, you could say that maybe he's feeling lack of motivation after, knowing he's relegated. If Dogao gets 3 wins, then with 2 rounds left, he's kind of tied with Tato and tied with ACCM when he's playing both of those guys. And it feels like one of those 3 names is going to be relegated, and it could be any of those names because they have some crazy opponents coming up. For ACCM, he has to play Nikov and he has to play Tato. For Dogao, he has to play Tato, MBL, and Bad Boy. Like I said, he's got 3. Tato, where's he at? Tato, I think I'm saying the same sets. He has to play ACCM, then he has to play Dogao. So right now I'm feeling like my initial prediction of Dogao and Bad Boy being relegated isn't necessarily the craziest thing, but it does really depend on the results. So Group D will be harder to follow. That's kind of where we're at. So for anyone who watches this on YouTube, this first season has been very fast, and there's been a lot of things going on, and we can't upload things immediately. So I'm just uploading everything that I cast. I will obviously be streaming the most important sets. I'm aiming to cover almost everything, but it's very difficult for me to do. What I will promise is that the main YouTube channel will have the round of 12 and the round of 8, and everything leading up towards the eventual finals. This bracket will show you kind of how things will pan out. I will upload all this to the main YouTube channel in its entirety. And that will also be scheduled so it's at a more scheduled time, I guess would be the way to say it. So it's like going to be a Friday, then Saturday, then Sunday. Whereas a lot of this stuff has been whenever the players can schedule midweek. Feedback's been awesome. I hope the games have been awesome for everyone who's been watching. I know for some of the players, they've been giving me good feedback as well. But this final week, man, this final week of group stage has me losing my mind right now. The situation between Jordan, Miguel, and Classic Pro is really unique. Slam and Capwatch, that showdown's going to be wild. Barles, Bro, and Dragonstar. And then, basically ACCM, Tato, and Dogao. Every group got 2 or 3 players that are fighting for survival, fighting for advancing out of the group, or fighting to get others relegated, which is basically the same thing said a different way. So that's it. That's the roundup. Doing my best to follow everything. All the good stuff will be in the playlist there, and I will keep you guys updated. Hope you're excited.